Alright, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Baelorr and I'd like to present you a ranked game between two organized teams. Teams GSSL playing as the blue team in the double left corner and Team CuA playing as the purple team in the upper right corner. Those two teams are on level of approximately 1600 ELO in organized play. Some of those players certainly are platinum from what I recall. And we are here hoping for a good game. A little pause on the start to see the setups and discuss a moment about them. So if you're not interested, just move forward. In Team GSSL, we've got Olaf, we've got Alistar, Ezreal, Ryze and Jax. And Olaf is going to play top lane. There's a duo of Alistar-Ezreal combo on the bottom lane. Ryze playing up the middle and Jax playing in the jungle. That's a pretty surprising pick considering how much farm does Jax want and likes to have to feel optimal and safe. Jax is a champion that scales extremely well with items, and considering the amount of farm he can get in jungle, well, that's a little subpar compared to lane farming, of course, but apparently those teams know what they're doing and they are counting for Jax's initiation in the game combined with Alistar's one. When it comes to Team CuA, we've got Kassadin playing mid, a duo of Corki and Blitzcrank playing bottom lane, an interesting combination, hoping for those good rocket grabs from Blitzcrank and to ensure a kill with Corki's burst damage. Irelia playing on top lane and Nautilus playing in the jungle. Nautilus and Blitzcrank is a very sturdy and very good combo. I believe those two champions have a lot of CC. Practically they are capable to peel off the enemy from Corki very effectively. Corki is not an easy character to catch anyway, so Olaf and Jax are going to have pretty hard time getting there, where they're needed, getting to punish Corki and Kassadin. It's generally a very mobile team composition. They've got two tanks and very mobile AD carry, very mobile AP carry. Irelia is also quite the mobile champion. Now we see some sort of invade, some sort of shenanigans early. GSSL is hiding in the brush, anticipating enemy positioning. Now will they see the enemy? No, the Corki hasn't seen Ryze going into the bush. Or has he? He has seen them, so now Blitzcrank assumes there's one or two players here. He makes a rocket grab, but unfortunately he didn't make it. Now Team GSSL is warned where the enemy is. If they gank them here at this angle, they will have a great advantage. And good, excellent flash from Blitzcrank, flash from Jax, double stun and the knock-up, and the first kill goes to Olaf. Now Olaf uses Ghost, there's a double kill, and Ignite, there's a double kill for Team GSSL. Ryze is safely flashing out of the harm's way from tower. Good grab by Blitzcrank, but nonetheless there's 2-0 from Team GSSL, and kills went to Ezreal and Olaf. That's a very unfortunate situation from Team CuA. They have to deal with a pretty significant, especially on this stage of the game, advantage for Team GSSL, and that's not a situation anyone likes to be in, ladies and gentlemen. What will Olaf buy with the additional money? He bought a Doran's Blade. That's a very good start. He plays off aggressively. He tries to bully his opponent. He will try to force Irelia out of the lane early. I expect Jax gank on top lane using blue buff, using leap strike and counter strike to stun her, use Olaf's full damage combo at approximately level 2 or 3. He should reach certainly before Irelia. And we're going to watch that lane closely. Now on the bottom lane, Ezreal also got the kill, but he didn't buy anything. He's got at the moment 480 gold ready for a Dawn's Blade, but he can't miss any farm. They are playing very aggressively on this lane. They are using the fact that Alistar's quite the bully, and he's still got the exhaust. While Corki doesn't have his ignite, so his killing potential is quite low. On the top lane, yes, Olaf is farming. He's farming pretty well. Irelia is playing safe so far. Will she get some punishment from Olaf? And Jax is here, so there is going to be a gank. Yes, Olaf is level 2. There goes the attack. There goes the stun. But Irelia, expert timing, flashes away out of the harm's way. Counter-Strike didn't manage to stun them. She would be in quite a bit of trouble had she been stunned by Olaf, by Jax's Counter-Strike. Jax doesn't lay off. He goes to the enemy's jungle. He takes out red buff. It's still there, so he assumes Nautilus somewhere here, and he goes in after Nautilus. He hits him once. He hits him twice. Nautilus uses his shield and he's slow to survive. He needs to use his flash. There's the flash. There's a defensive flash. Excellent play by Jax so far, using 2 flashes. Meanwhile, at the middle lane, at the top lane, excuse me, Olaf is already level 3. He's pushing very hard and very cocky. He knows there's no sort of pressure at the moment from enemy jungler, a situation that he'd have to defend. So he's going to force Irelia to farm under the tower, found in a suboptimal position. Irelia uses hit and style active to heal herself in the lane phase. Meanwhile, Kassadin is getting quite punished by Ryze's auto attacks and combination of overload room prison. The cast time and range of Kassadin's null sphere allows Ryze to land his combo before the silence kicks in. So on those exchanges, Kassadin goes very unhappily, very negative. Is there a gank? No, Jax has returned to base, seeing that there's no opportunity to get up after Irelia. He has done enemy's red buff, and now he's using double buff to ensure more of an advantage at the game, at the jungle, and try to force Nautilus out. Use the fact that he's a very weak jungler early. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Team GSSL is still pushing. The Team CuA warded the brush very wisely, seeing if there's some sort of shenanigans coming from Jax, though at the moment his focus in the game was on the middle and top. And speak of the devil, at the middle we've got some sort of shenanigans after all, and there's a gank on Ryze and ignite from Kassadin. Ignite from Ryze, room prison and overload plus auto attack, finish off the deal. Kassadin dies, so does Ryze. And Nautilus gets an assist. Now Jax doesn't want to leave his body unavenged. He goes in after Nautilus. He takes away a big chunk of his HP, but they safely retreat to from harm's way, showing that Team GSSL, although they lost a kill, they lost Ryze to a well-coordinated gank from Nautilus. I fear Kassadin went in a little too fast. Perhaps he was afraid of Ryze's flash. Mayhaps he didn't notice Ryze used his flash. No, Olaf died top lane. He was apparently trying to gank Irelia, to dive her under the tower at level 5 before his ultimate kicked in. And now an exchange up the middle lane. Jax is fighting with us alongside Ryze, trying to kill Nautilus. Nautilus stayed a little too long. Nautilus falls and Jax falls with him. Kassadin now has red buff. Ryze, you have to retreat. Don't fight Kassadin with a red buff. Use your range to advantage as long as he doesn't have level 6. In that situation, Ryze should definitely head back to base. His low amounts of HP and the fact that Kassadin's got that red buff might allow him to actually kill Ryze in the next following moments. Ryze has to play that very carefully. He needs to be aware of what can Kassadin actually do in such situation. Will there be a dive? No, Ryze plays very wisely. He retreats at a safe range. No flash from Kassadin means he can't really dive him. Will there be some sort of attempt from Kassadin? No, he decides to play it safely, to keep it cool, to wait for a chance. Now, if Jax has something to say about it, he won't allow that to happen. Before Kassadin reaches level 6, there is going to be a gank. Now, there's a flash in, there's a stand in. Now, Ryze launches his combo. Will there be a kill? Yes. Jax finishes off Kassadin. Kassadin was hoping for one last hit on Ryze, but that wouldn't have killed him anyway. Very well played by Jax. Apparently that pick is very powerful at the early stages of the game as well in the jungle. Now on the bottom lane we've got a gank from Nautilus on exhaust on Ezreal, and Ezreal is in a heck of a lot of trouble. Will Alistar appeal for him? Exhaust going, another exhaust going on Nautilus. Nautilus combined with a flash is appeared. There's a safety zone, and Jax goes in again. So far MVP, he's everywhere. He's practically everywhere. He's doing all the hard work. He's the carry of the team so far, and as from a situation where there was a potential death opportunity from Team GSSL, he turned it out to yet another kill, increasing their monetary advantage to 2,000 gold at 7th minute mark. Now Jax, unabashed by that, is continuing and doing his own red buff, using the fact he's got one from Kassadin. He doesn't stop on that. He uses Smite, goes in, there's the red buff for Jax, and Jax finishes the red buff. Will he go back to base? No, he continues farming safely. Meanwhile, at the top lane, there's still same old song. Irelia's out-leveling Olaf, and Olaf tries to harass her in back. Now Irelia goes in, tries to do some sort of damage to Olaf. 3 hits from hit and style and use the blade surge. Take away a nice chunk of his HP though. Olaf's getting pretty tanky now. There's Kassadin, there's a gank from Kassadin, that's it. Kassadin reached level 6, he's got Ignite, he's the mobile terror everyone's afraid of. Now there's a situation at the bottom lane, but let's see how will they get on the top lane. Will that be the end of Olaf? Apparently Kassadin wants to do something about it. Yes, Olaf dies. An excellent play by both players of Team CuA. By Molterest and Nonstop, and they killed Olaf excellently. Now in the bottom lane, meanwhile, there was a situation with Ezreal. Ezreal's dead around here. That means they chased him and they got him off. Apparently good combination of Phosphorus Bomb Gatling gun combined with Blitzcrank's, I assume, Power Fist sealed the deal, and Ezreal died. forcing Alistar to retreat. Good support always retreats, or often retreats with his AD carry, so they can buy simultaneously and go back to lane at the same time, being equally strong, being capable of putting up a fight the moment they're back. Harry, GSSL, Ezreal player, has decided to rush Phage. Apparently he's going to bullet into Trinity Force. Very wise decision. Trinity Force is a very popular choice on Ezreal's and Corki's, as a matter of fact. Especially at a certain minute mark. It's only 8 minutes 50 and he's already got a Phage with 99 with 100 gold left. It gives him hopes for a very early Trinity Force, and when built early, Trinity Force is very powerful. We can see that Ezreal is leveling Essence Flags. A trend has started lately for all the Ezreal players. They use Essence Flags as a sure deal way to harass the opponent in the lane, as we can see in the following example. And Ezreal now a safe ward here, placed to avoid any sort of unpleasant ganks or blitzcrank grabs. Another ward here to protect from Kassadin attacks from the backside. Now Ryze with a blue buff is already doing the wraiths on his team. Ryze lags a little bit on the AoE department, and well, Kassadin isn't the excellent choice here as well. So Ryze versus Kassadin is actually a very good pick. Meanwhile on the top lane there's a fight and exchange, and Olaf, brought in very low by Irelia, and managed to survive, managed to play it cool and steady with his team partner Jax, who plays phenomenally this game. Now Olaf safely retreats, doesn't risk it, doesn't want to push, knows that the enemy might be anywhere. He doesn't see where they are, so safe retreat by Olaf, very well played so far. Now let's see on the bottom lane, we've got Nautilus coming in. There's a ward here, so Team GSSL knows exactly what CuA are planning. Treno, you're wasting your time, bro. Of course it's easy to say that as a shoutcaster, but he should know something's fishy, considering how the pattern looks. Now, if another gank of Jax against Kassadin, not gonna work this time, bro. Kassadin's got his Rift Walk, it means he's going to be very difficult to gank. Now, there's a counter gank from Team GSSL on Nautilus, and Nautilus, you're in a heck of a trouble. He's got, and Treno not playing the best to his full capacity this game, and he is down. Team GSSL takes on another kill. That's the risk of staying too low in one position as a jungler, as someone who tries to gank. Now, there's going to be a dragon attempt and possibly a dragon taken. Anyway, Team GSSL has taken out the jungler. There's no one to use smite. There are 4 of them here, so that's an easy dragon for Team GSSL. A good rocket by Corki. He tried his best to take it, but unfortunately he didn't make it. First dragon of the game at 10:54, which means that Team GSSL is steadily increasing their advantage. Meanwhile, Ryze, content with dragon, was going back to his lane and placing some wards. And Kassadin, knowing well that Ryze is going most likely to go that place, he stalked him, prepared an ambush, used his full combo, and delivered the killing blow, taking away his blue buff, refreshing his own. Now he's going back to base. That's a sort of consolation prize, considering how much Team CuA has suffered from taking away that dragon, from keeping Nautilus a little behind in farm and botched. What is Jax buying so far? Jax bought a heart of gold. There's no Regulus Lantern on Jax, and no lifesteal as well. Jax assumes he's capable of jungling, being the great duelist that he is in lane, while not in the jungle. It's a wise play by Jax. He increases his income even further, though his ganks are quite successful. I assume Jax might be going for Baelorr Cutlass later, and of course Trinity Force, added with some tanky items. Wise use of Counter Strike and Empower allows him to jungle extremely fast, especially after getting his ultimate. Now there's the traditional exchange on the top lane. Players are hitting each other, but Irelia is apparently starting to win those exchanges. Her amounts of true damage, her amounts of CC beat Olaf, and that's very good for Irelia. Let's keep in mind that the lower the Olaf gets on his HP, the higher his attack speed. What's going on the bottom lane? Team GSSL has backed up. Harry bought himself a Sheen, so he's continuing to work on that on that Trinity Force project. And Alistar finished his Philosopher's Stone. He's bought a pink ward, I like that. He will most likely place it at the dragon in a minute or two, or he's going to place it extensively here to counter. Meanwhile, at the top lane we've got a gank from Ryze, and Olaf is chasing Irelia to the best of his abilities. He used Ghost, he's got the axes now, but good juking from Nonstop makes him safe. Good try, but unfortunately it lacked that finishing touch, sometimes necessary to secure a kill. Now, ward from Team GSSL makes sure they know Kassadin is here. Good rune prison from Rise, and Rise is taking some damage. Will they continue to go in? There's a typical baiting from Olaf and Rise. They're trying to get on the bad side of Team CuA and get a kill, preferably on the Kassadin. That blue buff is pretty tempting to get. What's going to happen now? Will there be a continuation of that fight? I assume not. Players are going back to their positions respectively. Olaf on top. Will Olaf be ganked by Nautilus? I doubt that. There's wards, so Olaf knows perfectly well what's going on. He's trying to back, a bit cocky but safe, and he's back on the base safe, going to buy some items. Probably some wards, depending on how much money he's got. 700 gold means a chainmail or null magic mantle, and that's it. That's null magic mantle. Of course, null magic mantle doesn't cost 700, but it's a good idea to buy at this stage of the game. Now, Kassadin prepares for a gank bottom lane. That's a good play from Kassadin. Ultimate from Ezreal, and intervention from Kassadin. That's going to be a dead Ezreal if they can help it. Ezreal tries to turn back and kill Corki, use his ignite, but unfortunately Corki stays alive. There was too little damage from Ezreal, and Alistar was somewhere else, not present, not visible, to keep him safe. So that's dead Ezreal, and another comeback kill for Team CuA. The advantage is still about 2k, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the more gold both teams have, the smaller the advantage factually becomes. Rise, and again with the blue buff, apparently doing the blue buff of the enemy team, clears off the jungle, and I assume Jax might want to take that blue buff. A blue buff on Jax is very useful. And power, it takes a lot of mana actually. Now, an exchange in the fight on the top lane, ultimate from both players, ignite on Olaf. No ignite from Olaf on Irelia though, and there's a status quo yet again on that top lane. What's going to happen? And there's a kill by Rise. There's a very decisive kill by Rise on Kassadin. He did this by his own, and now Olaf is chasing on Irelia, and Jax goes in. There's a beautiful kill by Olaf and by Jax, power combined. Very well played by Jax yet again, and I think Irelia has done it again. She's getting baited by Olaf's low HP. She assumes she can burst him down, but whenever she tries that, Jax is there. And speaking of Jax and being there, again, Jax is this time on the middle lane. That's another excellent play and kill, and Rise gets the red buff. That's a very good kill on Rise, and the advantage substantially grows to 3,000 gold from 2,000 gold. Team GSSL is in the driving seat, and they decide to start pushing. A pretty late push in my opinion. 16 minutes isn't that early, especially after what we saw in San Antonio and on the Warsaw tournaments. And in MLG in New York, teams started to push much faster. It's like a recurrent fashion from Season 1 now. Olaf returns to base, and on the bottom lane, Jax and Rise are trying to dive Corki and Blitzcrank under the tower. Kassadin smells something fishy, and Blitzcrank goes in on the first line. Exhaust on Jax keeps him low, keeps him safe, but he survives. Team CuA has to retreat. They can't risk killing Jax off when there are so many members of GSSL members ready to take in the fight, and Rise is just spamming his spells. He's like a machine gun, dealing so much damage, and Kassadin tries to go in. Nice escape from Kassadin. An intervention from Corki. Good grab by Blitzcrank, and that's the problem solved. That's that Rise, but at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? Good stun, excellent stun by Jax. Secures them another 2 kills, 3 kills, and 2 of them to Ezreal. And ladies and gentlemen, that's a double kill. That's practically 4 kills. 4 kills for 2. 4 for 2 is not what they wanted. Alright, I stand corrected. 3 for 4 is still not what CuA wanted. A double buff on Irelia should be put to good use. Dragons respawned. Team CuA should try to rush it ASAP. They've got the momentum and they've got the opening, and if they know what's good for them, they will try to make something happen out of it. The moment Ezreal goes back to base, yes, it's the moment he's going to finish his Trinity Force. There are the pings towards the dragon. Yes, Team CuA is moving there. They know they have to get that dragon. They should contest it. Olaf is top. They have their whole squad bottom lane. Irelia's fresh. She's got both her summoner spells ready by the time dragon starts. Team GSSL is slightly out of position. There's Jax trying to rush his Trinity Force. Rise goes in, so does Jax, so does Ezreal. Ezreal hasn't been back to shop, his mana is pretty low. Will that dragon go to Team CuA? A good rune prison. Now, how's the end? Yes, dragon goes to Team CuA, but not without Jax getting Nautilus. Irelia, however, gets Jax in return, and now Irelia is the one in the trouble. She's going to die. She's going to die. Flash didn't save her. She's going to die to Grice, so he gets back his double buff. One death for free, but those 3 kills also were collected to Dragon, so I think that actually Team CuA went a little up on that exchange, especially considering the fact the enemy is ahead, so each kill they get from the enemy that's ahead is worth more than the kill for a team that's ahead. However jizz that might sound. There's a push on the middle lane by Jax, by Ryze and by Olaf, and a kill by Corki on Ezreal. Ezreal finally back to base, he can finish that Trinity Force, and that's a very big and very important kill to Blitzcrank. The kill is important due to the fact that Alistar had his Oracle popped, he used it and he died losing that Oracle. 400 gold lost, but actually it's practically like 800 gold, because not only you lose 400 gold, you are also incapable of spending that 400 gold elsewhere. Olaf counter jungling the enemy Nautilus, leaving red buff unattended. Olaf finishing Frozen Mallet, that's a very good item on Olaf. Apparently Olaf doesn't do that build with Shrelia's Reverie for cooldown reduction and good stats on that champion. Cooldown reduction, HP, and the speed buff is nothing to be laughed at. And Irelia going back top, she's got Sheen, Zeal and Fade. She needs 300 gold, 300 gold almost done to finish that Trinity Force. Now Jax becoming the terror that he is in the middle and late game. Is he going? And a steal attempt from Ezreal. And actual steal by Jax, excellent go in, and not a bad exchange for Team CuA, or is it? Blitzcrank kills Jax, the fight continues, Ezreal does so much damage combined with Ryze. There's double kill for Team GSSL against Team CuA, and CuA lost 3 kills again, and the blue buff. And I've got this impression, ladies and gentlemen, that whatever Team CuA decides to do, Team GSSL is there to stop them. It's like they are one step ahead of time, and Team CuA doesn't have a response to that for the time being. They allow Olaf to free farm out the middle lane, increase his farm, and Olaf sees that Corki's not alone, that he's brought his friend. Olaf uses his ultimate. Will he use his slow to defend himself? Yes, he's going to use the slow. Will he die? Yes, he dies from Ignite. Intervention from Alistar didn't secure that kill, and now there's going to be a double kill. Excellent. That broke the momentum Team GSSL had, and CuA are not back in the game because they weren't out, as a matter of fact, but they are in a better position than they were 30 seconds ago, ladies and gentlemen. Now a chase after Irelia, but Irelia's safe. That Zeal gives us some bonus speed to escape. Corki gets the red buff. Corki's got a big one ready, and he's going back. What is Corki going to buy with that amount of cash? Well, certainly not a BF sword, perhaps pickaxe. Yes, there's the pickaxe. Irelia going back to base, probably improving her boots. Let's see how much money. Yes, she's going to buy Mercury threads. Tier 2 boots are necessary on a bruiser. Mercreds work very well with Irelia's passive, making her very, very hard to peel off AD carry and to generally stop. For those who don't know or don't remember, Ionian Favor reduces the duration of crowd control effects on Irelia by respectively 10, 25 and 40% depending on the amount of champions, the enemy champions, that are near her. Some bit of far from Kassadin building an assassin build, Deathfire Grasp, Abyssal, Negatron Cog, going probably into Abyssal, an intervention by Olaf. He knows that's a dead Kassadin, that's a very unfortunate and dead Kassadin. Team GSSL expertly predicted where would he be going, and that might be an occasion to do a Baron for that team. 22 minutes isn't too early to do a Baron. They've got the advantage, they've got the momentum again, and that's a good opportunity. An excellent grab by Blitzcrank, good reflexes, burns Jax's flash. Nautilus is forced to go back. Nautilus not tanky at all, gets annihilated and bursted down by Ryze and Ezreal's combined power. Now Ryze, very cheeky, very ballsy, going in deep and trying to pull that damage off, and there's a tower push on the inhibitor tower by GSSL. First inhibitor tower of the game is probably going down. That Kassadin's death was very detrimental to the success of Team GSSL at that moment. Corki trying to use his missiles, a grab by Blitz, and yes, inhibitors down. First inhibitor of the game is going down for Team GSSL at 23rd minute, 5 towers to 0. Team CuA has problems. Their problems is called we are not pushing. We are incapable of pushing, and the enemy knows that. Now, Alistar goes down in a team fight, and Blitzcrank is not content with only Alistar. He goes in, but he goes in deep alone, and alone in the dark means Alistar dies. Now there's a silence by Kassadin, but by the time silence is over, Rise is still alive, and he manages to kill him down. Now an intervention by Ezreal. Is he going to die? Yes, a beautiful burst down of Ezreal, easy stun by Aurelia, and a kill in return. Now Nautilus dies yet again to brutal attack by Rise by Olaf. Olaf is doing a heck lot of damage with that 2 damage reckless swings. Now Nautilus is not tanky enough. He's got only 1740 HP. That's not enough on 24th minute. He needs that Aegis of the Legion finished. He needs to be more tanky for his team, because at the moment he's just not doing it. And for Team GSSL, Olaf decides to buy an Oracle. That's a very good decision. Olaf is extremely tanky at the moment. Apparently he's trying to build Warmags. He's much tankier than Alistar. He's much tankier than Jax, who's focused more on the damage aspect of his character. He's going to clear the walls around the Baron, perhaps bait the enemy, or force an engagement. If Team CuA, for instance, decide to do Dragon, Team GSSL might as well do Baron in the meantime. But unfortunately those are just sheer dreams. Team CuA doesn't appear to be able of doing a Dragon or a Baron at that point, because of the lack of the inhibitor at the middle. They are forced to defend, and the map control is very heavily favoring Team GSSL at that exchange. GSSL is going to take away enemy's blue buff. Rise is going expertly against Kassadin, who is playing a little recklessly and foolishly, again allowing the enemy to catch him. Ultimate from Ezreal missing by us, only a nudge, but that wouldn't have finished him off anyway. Now Elixir of Brilliance on Rise, decreasing his cooldown furthermore. He's got certainly 40% of cooldown reduction, and yes, that's going to be a Baron attempt. Kassadin is getting caught out of position time and time again with his champion. He apparently forgets the enemy can snare him, and he's losing HP, making it impossible for Team CuA to put up a decent fight at that moment. The Baron attempt started, and Team CuA is moving 4 men, since Kassadin is too low to assist. Will they try to make a steal? Will they try to make a play? Well, let's remember that Jax is higher level, and that's a confident Baron from GSSL. Jax makes a leap strike and counter strike right in the middle of everyone. Ultimates are exchanged. Ultimate goes for Ezreal, but by the time it's done, the enemy is already dead. Nautilus is yet again facing annihilation by angry Olaf. What has he done to piss him off so badly? Now Kassadin goes in, but too late, too soon, too late, not enough, and that's another dead member of Team CuA. Now GSSL can and probably will close the deal by that game, and they will simply get to the enemy and kill them. Will that be the case? They've got 4 members alive, only support being dead, while 3 members of Team CuA are dead. Olaf is already making some pun jokes, and well, that was almost dead Corki by Olaf, and that is going to be GG, ladies and gentlemen. Team GSSL takes a decisive win after catching Kassadin out of position several times, using that to their advantage and pushing it forward to secure Baron, win a team fight that has happened after a very sketchy and messy team fight by CuA getting caught by Jax's counter-strike. And that seals the deal and ends the game. Thank you for listening, thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you around next time. Baelorr signing off. Have a nice day.